Oh yes. And this is why having a base is good. I think you know what's about to happen. I've had it 2 days. It's got to change. I'm going to get started on the most important bit. It's just how it looks, isn't it? And at the moment, it doesn't look very good. So we're going to fix that. I'll just give it a good wash with some fairy liquid, or wash it up liquid. You don't want to use actual car shampoo because a lot of them have like wax in them to make your car look nice. Yeah, if you use anything with any kind of additive in it, the paint just won't stick. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this yet because I've only got so much paint. And if I have to order another one, you know it's going to end up being a different colour. Susan's trying to climb into the tractor, which is great. God, the roof is immaculate. I don't think I've ever seen a van roof that good. It's a really clean van, this is. Just perfect for a terrible roller paint job. You should know me by now. I don't buy vehicles with resale in mind. I buy a vehicle because I want it. So I've got no issue painting it. It's my colour anyway, I mean, you know. Shall I just do it? Shall we end the day with a green door? I think so. If your paint's quite shiny like this, in fact, before we start this, don't copy me. You know, just don't. I'm not an expert. This is not a tutorial. I'm just doing it. I've done it a few times now. It's turned out alright. I don't care about pristine finishes. It's never going to be this smooth. It just isn't. Even this is kind of orange peel. And this is like the proper paint. But it's going to be orange peely a little bit. You can get it out if you wet sand it and all of that and give it like 6 coats. But I just don't care. I just want it green. That's it. I'm not bothered about the finish. So I just thought I'd pop that in there. This is definitely not a how to paint your van tutorial. Something crawling on me. It's very annoying. But that being said, let's get the rollers out. Getting it masked off. Again, I'll say this one more time. I'm not responsible if one of you goes and does this and ruins your van, alright? It's got nothing to do with me. If you're not sure, or you know, you're not confident in doing it, you think you might regret it, whatever, just go and get it resprayed professionally. You know, there's plenty of people out. You don't have to go to a proper, you know, like super expensive body workshop. There's people out there that do it freelance. There's a guy, Rich, got a channel called Beyond the Van. He does resprays and they're you know, fantastic. I've seen the quality of what he does, so I'm not knocking getting it resprayed. I just can't justify spending the money to get that done because I'm happy with the level of just painting it. So yeah, there's the disclaimer. I don't want to hear anything more of it. If you've got the balls, then you save yourself a lot of money. Right, here we go. If you get scared easily, look away now. Oh yes. I think, to be honest, what I try to do, because you obviously, as I mentioned about the orange peel, which is the air bubbles, I just try to make sure that it has an even orange peel over the whole lot, because then it matches. If it's like smooth in some places and shitty in other places, then that doesn't look very good, in my opinion. But if it's the whole thing has the same texture, it almost looks like it's supposed to be that way. Like my other van, that's not smooth by any stretch. I just hope this flipping paint is gonna stretch the whole lot, otherwise I'm in trouble. That's going to be a nightmare, actually. We've got just under 3/4 of a 5 litre can, so if I can get away with 2 coats, which I think I might just, then that'll be good. But I've gone quite light with the first one, so it can actually get something to bite into and then fill it in with the next coat. But there is actually, I'm going to make myself sound less daring now, there is some thought behind doing this paint first. I mean, as I said, I need to do the outside stuff first anyway because of the weather, and also the paint. This stuff takes quite a long time to go off. It's like machinery enamel kind of thing. It takes a good 10-12 hours, so it started to get cool in the evenings now. It was like 5 or 6 degrees last night. Not going to do it much good if it's like freezing at night, because that won't be very long when it starts to dip below 0 overnight. Looking better already though, isn't it? I think it's going to reach. I barely put any paint in this tray. Again, you can actually get a really good finish doing this method. There's a lot more time and effort. If that's what you want though, just have a look on YouTube, some tutorials. Really, like, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was a spray job. But yeah, I don't have time for that. I'm just not arsed enough, to be honest. I'm perfectly happy with the finish that I'm going to get. It's like going back in time, doing this on my mum's driveway back in England with the other van. God, I can't even remember, that 5 years ago? Oh, I've just thought of the best picture ever. The Beast, the Mini Beast, and the Micro Beast, the quad next to it. They look like a flipping army. You will have to go round with like a small brush at the end and just fill in all these bits where you've missed. Well, I do anyway. I always get little bits and bobs that I've missed. Yeah, like I can't get the roller into there, so that's going to need touching up. Yeah, see, down here is going to need brushing. In fact, I might just paint that black. That's the trick. You just, anything that you miss, just paint it black. You can see the strokes a little bit at the minute from the edges of the roller, but that does go away on the next coat. I think I'm going to do this top black. I'm going to do the roof black, but I don't know how much I'm going to bring it over yet. Just to save paint, basically. It'd look better green, but I don't think I'm going to have enough. Oh yes! So you can see all the bubbles. That does actually go down a bit. It doesn't stay this bad. But it sort of evens itself off and you just get that sort of rippled look. Which, I just don't care. Anyway, here we are at the end of session 1. I can't bother anymore. Look at that. Don't half look shit. It will do though, to start with. I had to go over this with Scotch Brite first, if you don't know what that is. Down there, it's like the back of a sponge, but it's rougher. Just to key up all of this, because it was really shiny, this one. So, yeah, if I hadn't have done that, I probably would have had problems. This panel was okay, I did give it a rub down, but yeah, I'm happy with that, looks good. We might get away with 2 coats, you know. I've not used hardly any paint. I think we're going to be able to do this. We flipping better be able to do it. Yeah, I mean, some people won't understand why you do this, you know, changing a perfectly good paint job to a less than average quality paint job, you know. But for me, it's just the whole thing with this, with vans, you know, yes, it's the living in them, the travelling in them, whatever. That's one side of it, but it's also, it's about the personalisation of it, really. You know, with the self-built, obviously with the stuff you buy it's a bit different, but with the homemade self-built things, it's all about your personality going on to something, you know, the outside and the inside. I just love to see vans that are like fully customised to what that person wants, and they've done it all themselves, and it's not perfect from a quality standpoint, but it's perfect for the individual who owns it, and that's really all that matters, isn't it? Because it's your toy at the end of the day, whether you live in it or not. If it's your home or not, doesn't matter. It's still your little thing, you know. And I like green, so
That's mine.
I'm coming to get that.
Hang on a minute, that's mine. Oh. Bosky!
So destructive.
What are you doing?
That's mine, Maddie.
Oh my god, Bob!
I'm going to take all of it.
Oh, Dad!
I've skipped ahead a little bit because I don't think you really want to see me paint. That's what the other channel's for. But yeah, as you can see, it's looking pretty good. That's only had 1 coat. I'm just about to go on to this now. Yeah, because that's dried off. This is on 3, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. That's how it's going to look. The bubbles have mostly gone down now. I'll bring you in for a close-up in a sec. But how this is now is basically the finish. And yeah, it's fine. It's like I said, it's not even as bad as orange peel, to be honest. Just 3 light coats, all at the same speed, because then you get the same size bubbles. Good news though, I'm going to have enough paint to do what I want. Probably more than what I want actually, because all of this, and we've still got over half a can left. So I think we're going to be good. So this is the kind of effect that you can expect. Actually looks worse on camera than it does in person. But yeah, it's really not bad. It's kind of like the Raptor stuff, which is actually on the bottom of this. So you see this paint here, the effect is like a textured, is it mottled? Is that the word? I don't know. But I actually quite like that, to be honest. I like that look, that's why I don't mind this paint job. Damn. What do we think of that? Obviously there's still a load of touching up to do. Bits where I can't get to. But looks pretty good. Once this is all properly cured, because if I put tape on this now, just rip it off. I'll tape it here and then paint all of this black. It should look pretty smart. Looks quite smart like that, to be fair. Looks like it's supposed to be there. Nice straight line. Just checking out the van on the CCTV before I pop down. Very green. Good morning, friends. It is day 3 or 4, I don't know, of the paint job. And yeah, it is looking posh. I like it. We're nearly there. Still a little bit more to do. I think these 2 panels here need 1 more coat. The rest of it's 3 coats. It's all dry now and it's looking pretty good. The ripples in the paint have squashed down to a level that I'm happy with, so that's good. We've got a few drips. Off this door handle here there was a run, so I'm probably going to have to get involved with that because that will piss me off if this is the main door I'm going to use. But yeah, it's pretty much there. Hopefully I'm going to get it finished today. We've just got the roof to do now, which is going to be black, just to save paint. I've got enough paint. I've got about a quarter of the can left, but I want to save some for touching up or whatever in the future, you know. I don't just want to use all of it. So we're going to do the very top of the roof black, which will be under solar panels and stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then I've got to go around all of these edges, like in here, and you know, all the bits that I couldn't get to need to be gone over with a brush, and they'll probably need 2 or 3 coats as well. But that shouldn't take too long. I think I'll be able to get this wrapped up today and then paint job over. That's the hardest part of the whole build, is doing the bloody paint. The rest of it's a piece of piss. I'm well happy with it though. I was sitting in bed this morning looking at it on the camera. There's one up behind you. It just looks cool. It's taking me back to when I first built the other van. Right, let's get this thing finished. This is the part that a lot of people forget about when they do these paint jobs. It's the bits that you think you're not going to see that actually end up letting the whole thing down. All like the gaps around the doors and the insides of the doors as well. I mean, some people just aren't bothered, it's fair enough. I am, it pisses me off. So all of the insides of these doors will be getting painted black, but I'm just doing it green where it overlaps on the sort of seam bits on the edges, just so that at a glance, you know, it doesn't look, you've not got white streaks everywhere. You don't need to go too mad with these bits because again you barely see them. That's why I'm doing it with a brush. It's just, as long as they've got paint on them, then you definitely don't see them. They just blend in. So getting to the black on the roof now. Annoyingly, this paint's very thin, so it's going to take probably at least 3 coats, I'd say, to actually get it black. It's actually quite a bit better painting with these kind of rollers. This is a fine sort of fabric one rather than a foam one. I think I discovered that last time and I forgot. Yeah, those foam rollers are really crap. It's actually putting a better finish on the paint with these. So I probably should have done the whole van with this, but oh well, here we are. It's amazing what a bit of paint and a lot of effort can do. It's looking pretty good. Would you like to see the results of, what, 4 days work, 3 days work? It's not completely finished yet. There's still a bit of touching up here and there too, but it's about there. All the green's pretty much done anyway. I made a start up here. Even done the Peugeot badge. Obviously I'm going to do this whole grill, but I need to wait for the paint to dry before I can mask it. That should look pretty good. So yeah, green all round. Susan, do you approve? It's plenty good enough for me. I mean, I'm about 1.5 meters away and it looks fine. I've even done at the bottom, which I did the masking wrong, so I've got to redo, skim over that. But I wanted to keep the badges, so just did the black strip. I think that looks pretty good. I didn't want to completely debadge it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I said it at the start of this, and I will say it again. If you're bothered about having a perfect finish, or you know, it being a pristine job, this is not the paint job for you. So don't even bother. But if you're like me, and you're aware that you're going to be taking vans into ropey places and scratching them up and God knows whatever else, then it's okay to have a cheap paint job. Because if I spent, you know, £1,000 or whatever, £2,000 on a professional spray job on this and scratched it to bits, I'd be a little bit fuming, to be honest. So you're going to have to make your own judgment on that. But for me, I love it. That's a bit of me, that is. Step 1. There's a long way to go, but step 1 is complete. I shall see you in the next one, when we should be getting started on the inside, doing insulation and stuff, hopefully, all being well. Right, I'll catch you all in a bit.